Yeah, you had to go on your little menopause break and postpone the fight, so yeah. What about that, dog? I was ready before. You needed a little break. Your tummy hurt? Your tummy hurt still?
I feel a lot better now.
All right, I'm not scared of shit, no. Not at all. Not at all. I was born for this. I was born for this moment. The universe told me this was gonna happen. You can ask Mike. I did ayahuasca, called him up and said, we're gonna fight on the biggest stage possible. It's destiny. And now here we are years later actually making it happen. I was made for this moment, born to do this, and I'm gonna put on the performance of a lifetime on November 15th, and the universe will align for all of its glory and good for God.
Jake Paul has reacted to Mike Tyson attacking him during their recent face-off. During Fanatics Fest NYC, Tyson asserted that he is more than ready to take Paul down, emphasizing his determination to deliver a knockout.
Is this fight happening or not?
It's happening. We're all here.
How prepared are you to knock Jake Paul out?
I'm very prepared.
These two were originally set to face off on July 20th, but Tyson had to pull out when an ulcer flare-up forced him to withdraw. This isn't the first time their fight has been on the cards. Tyson's legacy in the boxing world is unmatched. Dominating as the undisputed heavyweight champion from 1987 to 1990, he racked up an impressive 50 wins, 6 losses, and 2 draws, with 44 of those victories coming by knockout. Though he retired from professional boxing in 2005, he made headlines again in 2020 with a memorable exhibition match.
You see this fight playing out?
Very painfully.
In that bout, the 54-year-old Tyson faced off against Roy Jones Jr., a peer in age. Now, Tyson is set to challenge the 27-year-old Paul, testing his endurance against a far younger opponent. Paul boasts an impressive 10-1 record in the ring, but his bouts have yet to reach the heavyweight caliber that Tyson once faced. Even so, Paul has demonstrated potential and could pose a formidable challenge for the veteran Tyson. During the recent event, the legendary boxer, a shadow of his former ferocity, presented a calmer demeanor, while Paul embraced his role as the event's antagonist, bantering with host Ryan Clark. Tyson revealed that he's back in camp and gearing up for the rescheduled fight date. When asked about his latest medical update from doctors, Tyson responded that he felt great and had been training for 2 or 3 weeks. He mentioned that he was in camp and ready to fight.
I've been training for a while, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
I'm just asking when you get into camp.
I'm okay to fight.
But when you get into camp, like when?
I'm in camp right now.
Very good, thank you.
I'm in camp right now.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
In front of a sold-out theater in New York, the Fanatics Fest finale drew a massive crowd, leaving thousands of fans unable to get in. Tyson kept his composure, while Paul seemed to relish the jeers from a hometown audience rooting for his opponent. Though Tyson anticipated the bout would be fierce and promised to end him, it was Paul who truly turned up the heat on the mic. He lambasted the boxing legend for supposedly dodging their scheduled fight and unleashed a barrage of insults, declaring their friendship officially ended. During a heated face-to-face, Paul taunted Tyson by suggesting that he had needed to take a break, which Paul referred to as a menopause break to postpone the fight. Paul mockingly asked if Tyson's stomach was bothering him, implying that Tyson wasn't ready when Paul was.
Were you truly sick, or were you a little nervous about getting in the ring with Jake Paul?
I was terrified. I was terrified.
I brought this deal to this old ass motherfucker. We signed the contract with Netflix, and I brought him the deal. So, you're welcome, my son. I'm gonna discipline you like a son. So shut the fuck up with all that need this, need that. We brought you the deal, and remember that too.
Tyson continued to make his mark on the social scene even while not in fight camp, attending various high-profile events throughout his show. With the announcement of the new fight date and the subsequent press conference, he made headlines again earlier this month by making an appearance at the Terence Crawford vs. Israel Madrimov bout. He sat ringside alongside Turki Alalshik, whose Riyadh season had just launched its inaugural Los Angeles event. During a chat with Bloody Elbow at the show, radio host Big Boy Kurt Alexander confirmed that he was in top fighting form that evening. Big Boy said of Tyson, "I think he's always ready to fight. He was ready to fight tonight. Hell yeah, I would go watch Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. That's one of the Jake fights I would go to. I love Jake. He was so good with my family. I would never say anything bad about that brother. While Tyson didn't say too much to Jake at the recent event, what he did was truly frightening. Jake Paul and Mike Tyson came dangerously close to a full-blown clash during their first public encounter since the much-anticipated boxing match was postponed. As Sunday's press conference at Fanatics Fest drew to a close, the air crackled with intensity. Amidst the roars of an electrified New York crowd, the two fighters engaged in a heated shoving match, escalating the already palpable tension. As the duo faced off at the heart of the Havits Center Theater stage, Tyson started by feinting playful jabs towards Paul, only to follow up with a firm push to his chest. While Iron Mike seemed to offer a lighthearted apology, it wasn't long before he retaliated with an even more forceful shove, this time using both hands. Paul handled the jabs with composure, pressing on towards Tyson while hollering at him and eventually pushing him away. The heated moment simmered down, leading to a final, intense stare-down between the two before they each departed the stage in opposite directions. Moreover, Tyson confirmed on Sunday that he has since returned to his fighting regimen. Tyson mentioned that the fight was definitely happening and that he was very prepared. He acknowledged facing a small setback due to illness, but assured that he had recovered and was feeling good. He added that he was ready to fight and would let his actions speak for themselves when the time came.
I'm very prepared. I'm very prepared. I had a small adversity. I got sick, but I'm better. I feel good.
Unless unexpected obstacles arise, the heavyweight champions will clash before a roaring crowd of 80,000 at AT&T Stadium on November 15th. Meanwhile, the spectacle will also be broadcast to 270 million Netflix subscribers around the globe. During the initial press conferences held at Apollo Theater in Texas Live for the eagerly anticipated match, Tyson and Paul frequently conveyed their mutual admiration. However, when they appeared together at the Havits Center, the camaraderie that once defined their interactions seemed to have evaporated, leaving behind a palpable tension between the former friends. Tyson dismissed Paul as merely a YouTuber, struggling to hold his own against one of the greatest boxers in history. Tyson remarked that Paul, a YouTuber, was set to fight the greatest fighter who ever lived. He noted that while Paul might have faced opponents with similar intentions, the reality would be different this time. Tyson predicted that once he landed a punch, the fight would be over and Paul would end up running.
We got a YouTuber fighting the greatest fighter that ever lived.
Jake, when you...
Every time these fighters sit across from me and it's YouTuber, it's Disney Channel, all that shit, and then you end up on the fucking canvas and you'll see, it's gonna be no different here, I promise you that.
I mean, with people with the same intention, but the actuality, no. Catch this guy, because he's gonna be running around, but as soon as I catch this guy, it's gonna be totally over.
When asked if Tyson was the reason for all the attention surrounding the upcoming fight, Paul interrupted, stating that they had signed a contract with Netflix, a deal he had secured. He added a taunt, saying, "You're welcome, my son," and vowed to discipline Tyson as if he were his son. Tyson, declaring himself fully recovered from his recent illness, squared up to his opponent on stage following a press conference, their faces inches apart. The former undisputed heavyweight champion then shoved Paul backward, only for the 30-year-old YouTube sensation to retaliate with equal force. Earlier, Tyson had insisted he would put an end to Paul's foray into boxing. Paul has faced backlash for agreeing to fight Tyson, who is now 58. The boxing icon has been inactive since a lackluster exhibition match against Roy Jones Jr. in 2020, which took place behind closed doors. Tyson's last professional bout ended nearly 2 decades ago when he retired on his stool after 5 rounds against Kevin McBride. Paul has vowed that the fight will end violently, countering predictions of his own defeat by insisting that history will be made when he knocks Tyson out. He acknowledged Tyson's remarks about it being his funeral and wake, stating that while he respects Tyson, they are no longer friends. Paul boldly declared that he would knock Tyson out, and only then would they see who would be left standing.
History, you know, if people think I'm gonna get knocked out by this strong, powerful guy, all the people in my comments saying, look at his power, he's gonna get KO'd, people yelling at me in the event, but what happens when I put this man to sleep? This shit is not a joke. He's saying that it's gonna be my funeral. He's saying it's going to be my wake. He's going to kill Jake Paul, all of these things. And that's why I love Mike. I respect him, but we're not friends anymore. Until November 15th, I'm knocking this motherfucker out, and we're going to see who's dead. We will see who's dead.
Mike Tyson was challenged by Jake Paul to a battle that would have involved 10 rounds of 3 minutes each, significantly altering the terms of their match. Tyson firmly believes he has bounced back from his recent setback and is ready to step back into the ring for the first time since his lackluster draw with Roy Jones Jr. in 2020. His upcoming bout against Paul will count officially on their records, yet it will differ from the norm. The fight will unfold over 8 2-minute rounds instead of the usual 3 minutes. Additionally, during a Sunday press conference in New York where Paul and Tyson faced one another, the YouTuber suggested extending the round's duration. Tyson advised Paul to be in good shape, emphasizing that his health depended on it. In response, Paul pointed out that Tyson had requested 2-minute rounds and challenged him to make it 10 rounds of 3 minutes each, dismissing Tyson's comments about fitness. When Tyson didn't immediately respond, Paul accused him of being all talk, claiming that he was ready to fight anytime, anywhere, and that Tyson was just trash talking. Eventually, Tyson responded with a simple warning, telling Paul to be careful and scareful.
Be in good shape because your health depends on it.
Hey, you're the one that wanted 8 2-minute rounds. You want to make it 10 threes? Don't talk to me about shape. Don't talk to me about shape.
Stay in shape. All right.
You want 10 threes?
Okay.
You want 10 threes?
Let's go. Be careful.
You want 10 threes? See, that's the thing. That's the thing is everyone's all talk. I'll do whatever, wherever, whenever. I don't give a f. So it's all talk. Put it on the line. I'm stating facts. He's talking.
Mike, he seems extremely confident. He says there's no fear. Should he be scared?
He should be very scareful, yeah.
Paul continued by promising to knock out Tyson later this year, noting that people would always have something to say because he had consistently proven his critics wrong. He stated that he was there to make history, take on a challenge, and fight one of the most dangerous men in boxing.
People are always going to have something to say. It's because of who I am. It's because I proved everyone wrong. Reminder, the most hated and most criticized boxer in the sport of boxing before they loved him was Muhammad Ali. So I'm the anti-hero, and people will love me soon enough once they realize what I've done for this sport and who I truly am. But it doesn't bother me at the end of the day because when you're at the top, people are clawing to rip you down, and that's just the way the game goes.
Paul acknowledged Tyson's reputation, describing him as vicious, a killer, and the greatest heavyweight of all time with one-punch knockout power. However, Paul remained confident, declaring that he would once again prove his doubters wrong, as he always had. He emphasized that he wasn't afraid of anything and believed he was born for this moment, claiming that the universe had foretold it. Paul promised to deliver the performance of a lifetime.
I risk it for the biscuit. That's the name of the game. I'm here to make history. I'm here for a challenge. I'm here to fight one of the most dangerous men in all of boxing. No one that ever did anything great got there with ease or by a easy, non-bumpy road. I'm here to challenge myself. He's vicious. He's a killer. I know all of these things. He has one-punch knockout power. He's the greatest heavyweight of all time. But I will prove on November 15th all the haters wrong, all of these YouTuber fucking hillbillies wrong. And that's what I've always done.
Make sure to check out some of our other videos on the screen if you enjoyed this one.